Guys, Randi Porter here. Time for another 5-Minute Friday. Psalm 19. I'm diving right in, okay? This is so good. All right, so just the other day, I got to have a conversation with my 6-year-old. And she said, Mom, I know we love God, but I don't know how to see him. Where is he? And I was like, that is such a good question. Let me ask you a question. Now, it's been very windy here the last couple of days in West Texas. And so I said, how do you know there's wind? And she went, well, I said, can you see it? And she wanted to say yes, and then she started thinking about it. I said, well, how do you know there's wind? She goes, well, Mom, I see that it's moving the leaves on the tree and the grass, and it knocked over the rocking chair on our porch. It's been very windy. And I said, you're right. So how do you know there's wind? She goes, well, by what it does. You know, it puts dirt in the air in West Texas. It's stuff like that, right? Okay, so you can see it by what it creates, by what it does. Okay, now listen to this. Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the expanse proclaims the work of his hands. Day after day, they pour out speech. Night after night, they communicate knowledge. There is no speech. There are no words. But their message has gone out to the whole earth, and their words to the end of the world. Because they are a creation, right? Okay, in the heavens, he has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming from his home. It's very proud, right? It rejoices like an athlete running a course. It rises from one end of the heavens and circles to the other end. Nothing is hidden from its heat. That's a good example, too. There's days like today. It's cloudy. I don't see the sun. I don't see it, but I know it's out, right? Because there's light as opposed to dark, and it's warmer than at night. So I know it's there. So these things are proclaiming God's glory. And now I also want to ask you another question. Who's like me, and for a long time saw, especially the first part of the Bible, and then even the New Testament, as like a bunch of do and don'ts, you know, and rules and this and that. And I had a bad attitude toward that, because in the first part of the book, there's like, you know, supposedly like 613. And then a lot of the New Testament is just re-quoting those, but they add their own spin. And if you count them up, there's like 1,000 in the New Testament. And so I just had a bad attitude toward that, right? And then I read stuff like this, and let's get into it, okay? The instruction of the Lord is perfect, renewing one's life. The testimony of the Lord is trustworthy, making the inexperienced wise. The precepts of the Lord are right, making the heart glad. The command of the Lord is radiant, making the eyes light up. David loved God's instructions, his rules. The fear of the Lord is pure, enduring forever. The ordinances of the Lord are reliable and altogether righteous. They are more desirable than gold. I'm sorry, hold on. So I have been like a toddler that, you know, I liked the pretty red glow of the flame, and my mom said, don't touch. And I'm like, but I want to. Was she trying to keep, you know, like make my life not fun? No, she was trying to keep me from huge pain. Man, all right. They are more desirable than gold, than abundance of pure gold, and sweeter than honey, dripping from a honeycomb. In addition, your servant is warmed by them, and in keeping them, there is an abundant reward. Staying away from pain. Who perceives his unintentional sins? Cleanse me from my hidden faults, man. Because when I'm reading his word, I see things I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know. Moreover, keep your servant from willful sins. Don't let them rule me, because we all have flesh, and we know how that doesn't want to do it all the time. Then I will be blameless and cleansed from my blatant rebellion. Then, probably the most famous of the verses of this scripture, or this chapter, and my favorite, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Because when our heart starts to read and see that these instructions are from him, and to love on us and to keep us from pain, and we align with that, we suddenly want to do them out of love, not out of obligation. And now we can't just say words and disconnect from them up here. So he says, both the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. So I hope that as you look through here, you will see that even outside, that everything declares the glory of God and his creation, and shows you that he is here, but also that his words are true, righteous, lovely, more valuable than gold in our lives, because he created us and he knows what's good for us. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and know that you've always got friends in Messiah, Texas.